Hi guys, I'm going to review the breaker today and then show you a bunch of really high damage replays. Now of course, I did actually review this already, and that was in that 2-hour video where I reviewed all of the tier 11s. So I'll just go through it very quickly, and there's something else I want to add on to the armor model in a bit. So as you can see, going from Badger to Breaker, your DPM goes up, your pen goes up, and then this can upgrade to 331 so you can get it even higher. The gun handling is basically the same. However, the gun traverse goes from -20 to 20, that's after upgrades. So that basically means you can side scrape in this thing, which is very nice. The speed, yes, it is certainly a lot slower. And despite weighing more, it has a weaker engine. However, this tank's ability completely negates this, and when it activates and you're using a Bond Turbo, you have enormous horsepower, you go uphill in very quickly, and the top speed is like 39 or 40 kilometers per hour, so it's not even a big deal. The armor is where it gets good, and I'll show it to you in a moment, but let's keep going. The health, this is kind of the biggest downside, is you get a whole 50 more HP. That's it. Which means, despite being enormously well armored and all that, it doesn't take very many lucky pens to kill you. Come on, Wargaming. Only 50 HP? This should be like 2250. Come on. At least the modules have a little bit more health, mainly the engine. And look at this, most people don't realize this. This thing has insane camo. In fact, if we compare it to another tank destroyer that has insane camo, as you can see, it's pretty much the same, the DBV, 18, 18.5. That is a lot higher than the Badger's 13. And you know what it's even higher than? Almost double, actually. Actually, thinking about it, might be more than double. Yeah, it's more than double the Grill 15. So, yeah, that's nice. What's the armor like? Well, it's absolutely incredible. Of course, the lower plate is weak, as you can see. I mean, it's not that weak, but we're at tier 11 now, so... And everybody's firing gold, which means they're gonna go through that, right? However, look at the raw thickness of this. 254 sloped back at, I don't know, 40 degrees? 43, okay. Nothing can pen you. Just flat, it's 370. And as soon as you use your gun depression, it goes to 440. Or 430. Now, that's with AP, and AP has 5 degrees of normalization, as you know. The only thing that has penetration that high is the YAG. And the YAG fires heat. So when you load heat, it's actually 500. Yep, so a YAG Panzer E100 is not going through this. But the best part about this tank is its side armor, believe it or not. As you can see, there's 63 millimeters of spaced armor, and then there's some thick tracks in between. So you angle like this, and the YAG cannot pen you. And okay, fine, it can pen your lower plate. That's kind of to be expected. It's a YAG after all. So let's compare it to something that has more average heat pen. There you go, 340, that's kind of the upper bound of most tanks at tier 10 that aren't tank destroyers. They're not really penning your side with heat, and now they're not penning your lower plate with heat. So, what are this tank's actual weaknesses? Well, if it does angle like this, you load AP, and don't shoot the spaced armor here. Here, look, if I go visual, you can see there's this big chunk of spaced armor. Well, don't shoot that. Shoot the track, where there's no spaced armor. And then back here, the spaced armor is thinner. However, it's not guaranteed to do damage. It's still kind of well angled and thick or whatever. So, what other weaknesses does this tank have? You probably noticed it has a cupola, even though the Badger before it did not have a cupola. However, I think this is a good change considering the Badger's weak spots were like right here. This weak spot is a lot thinner, but it's also a lot smaller. So I think that's fair. One thing that I glossed over in my review during the 2-hour review of every tier 11 was the underflap armor, because I didn't realize it at the time, and you could tell right now it's not quite overmatchable by everything. As you can see, it's 44.5. So what does that mean? That means tank guns with calibers larger than 134 can overmatch this. So then you're probably thinking, 134, I mean there's like 128s and 130 mil guns, and then it goes up to like 150, right? So basically only tier 10 TDs and some heavies can overmatch this. Well, not quite. Wargaming, because of their tier 11 ChatGPT tanks, they also gave them ChatGPT calibers. 136? which means that the KR1 can overmatch this. So you gotta watch out for that. Of course, it's kind of like beneficial. If they fire heat, it's not gonna overmatch because heat doesn't overmatch and there's spaced armor in the way. But if they're smart, they'll load AP and they'll go right through that. And given the nature of how low this gun is to the ground, it's kind of impossible to use all of your gun depression while also hiding your weak spot. So like if I zoom out here, you see this box that has all the values in it, right? This gray box. Well, pretend that's a ridge line, okay? If you back over the ridge line until it covers your lower plate, your flaps are still exposed. And there's actually no way to hide them without also covering your gun. So that's an interesting way of balancing a tank. It basically means you don't actually want to use all of your gun depression. If you get to like a sweet spot in the middle here, so 3, I think you could just barely shoot your gun over the ridge, and your cupola is so small, pretty much nobody's gonna hit it. But yeah, that basically means unless you get exactly in the perfect, absolutely amazing position, you are weak. Albeit the overmatch here is only to very high caliber guns. So yeah. Alternatively, as you can see, the cupola is weak, but it's not that weak. I mean, it's 240, and sometimes it's 250, as you can see. So standard rounds for many tanks have like a 50-50 of going through. And if you don't hit it square on, it's going to bounce off the edges. Now here, we can see this top part here is 50.8, which means tank calibers above 152.4 can overmatch this. Which you might think, oh, okay, so like, for example, 150 mil. That's the Grill 15. Grill 15 cannot overmatch it, right? It also means 152 millimeters cannot overmatch it. I think, what has 152? 268. 152 cannot overmatch it, right? And then if we get to something like an E3, yeah, the E3 can overmatch it. It's 155. Funnily enough, although it doesn't say it anywhere, the 60 TP is a 152 point something. What that something is, I don't remember, but as you can see, it can overmatch this as well. And keep in mind, so don't face hug 60 TPs, because although the 60 TP is not a super tall tank, this thing is so short, and it has more than enough gun depression so that it can just go through your roof like that. But as you can see, if a 60 TP is firing standard, he's not going through you basically anywhere except he lands a shot right here. And if he fires heat, you can angle a bit more, and now he really isn't going to pen you anywhere. So this tank is actually better off when you're firing standard, because at least when you catch the side here, you can pen it. And when I say standard, I mean non-heat round, right? For example, breakers, ironically, are the best tank to kill other breakers, because the breaker is actually really damn accurate. This is about as accurate as a Leo. Keep in mind, a Leo is 0.28. This is 0.29. This is pretty much as accurate as a Leopard. So you're gonna hit these. And although it says 326 here, can actually get to 331, which means as soon as the sight is not an auto ricochet, you can kind of pen it pretty reliably. Right here it says 304 and it's a 80% chance. But if it was 331 pen, as it is when you upgrade it, this would be more like an 85 to 90% chance. So yeah, the biggest, I guess you could say, counter to a breaker is another breaker. So yeah, there you go. What are your options if there's a breaker that's hull down like this? You know, and you don't have a gun that can overmatch these flaps. Your options are nothing. You just have to leave. Sorry, the breaker owns this position now, and you can't do anything about it. And in the replay, you're gonna see exactly that. Some T803 gets to his little hull down, and then I get to the hull down, and now it's my hull down. So yeah, with that being said, let's show some replays. Yeah, this thing prints out 10k damage games. Basically every day where I play this tank, it's a 10k game. Anyway, let's get to the replays now. Alright, the breaker on Lakeville. As you can see from the bottom left, this is my equipment. I didn't mention it in the review because it's pretty standard. Rammer, turbo, hardening. I'm using Bond. Even though I say Bond is not worth it, I already had these in the depot, and I thought, well, what better tank to put it on than this thing? What, you know, what else am I gonna put them on? Also, I think a while ago you could get the Bond Turbo from Ranked. I think without even spending bonds. I don't remember 100%, but as you can see, as soon as my turbo kicks in, I start getting going, and yeah, I'm leaving all of these people in the dust. I've surpassed all of them, even though they're taking kind of a weird path. Here's the other breaker. We're pretty much in the same. We've traversed the same amount. You can see from the top left where my little tank icon is. There's no number there because I'm not fully upgraded. And for the majority of the replays you're gonna see, I'm actually not fully upgraded, which means this thing is insane right out of the box. Albeit it's quite slow. The speed bonus mode is kind of crap when you first get it. It doesn't really do much, but afterwards it gets good. Anyway, I was like, okay, Mr. T803, you think you're the hull down master? Okay. I missed that shot, but to be fair, when you're in the speed mode, it actually blooms your gun out a lot. Like a CS63, it is like a completely separate mode. And this isn't too good. I mean, this guy just put 2 shots into me already, but it's okay. Now, I'm gonna get to work. He just shot my side with heat, that's why I showed it to him in the first place. And, let me just, hey buddy, where'd all your health go? Yeah, this is my hull down now. Okay, back up. Oh look, a shit barn. Let me load my high pen HE rounds, which I also forgot to mention. Although, to be fair, I think most people know that because the Badger has that, and this is basically an identical gun to the Badger. But yes, it's 130 pen. This isn't like 100 or 120, it's 130. That's quite nice. Anyway, here's an E5. Yeah. People don't really seem to know how fast this thing can reload. Not the demonstration here, but a lot of times you'll bounce off them or miss or whatever, and then they'll poke, and then you just get another shot off because they don't realize how fast this thing reloads. Anyway, we've got 2 paid actor mice here. Of course, to get a big damage game, you need your paid actor mouse. To be fair though, with 331 APCR, even if they weren't paid actors, I would kill them all the same. I mean, here, there's his engine deck. Thanks, mouse, but let's say he wasn't, let's say he was aiming perfectly. This tank having basically the Leopard's accuracy means I can pinpoint his cheek and even the gun mantlet pretty consistently. And I think you'll see in other replays I do that a lot. And that's honestly one of the nicest things about this tank is it's not only just high DPM, but it's insanely accurate. Which means like if you need to kill someone, they're dead. There's no like, oh, I balanced this or oh that. No, they're just gonna die. Anyway, yeah, so that's 6.4K. That, just like that. That's all it took. I'll give this guy a bit of a ram. Face hug him. He's not really going to pen me. There we go. Kill him. And that little celebratory ammo rack for good measure. But this is the part where most big, heavily armored tanks now suck. Because all the damage is in the town, right? My game is basically over, right? No. You see my turbo kick in, and although this IS-7 is surpassing me a little bit, it's actually quite amazing how much I'm able to keep up with this guy. Especially uphill. Basically, if there's like a slight incline, this thing is faster than an IS-7. And I think right here there's a bit of a slight incline. But as you can see, look, this reticule is a lot bigger than just the speed alone. It actually... TanksGG hasn't updated to show all the stats changes when you enter a mode. But it's basically a CS63 in that the moment the turbo kicks in, your gun blew. A lot. And it's kind of hard to hit anything. So I'm looking here. Is this 430U still here? I guess not. That's kind of a shame because last time he was spotted, he had a quarter, which is at least 2 shots worth of damage. But, oh well. So, am I going to get any more damage this game? I mean, it's like almost over. And everything's so far away. Well, I'm so fast, considering the weight, that I'm actually gonna get there in time. And by the way, this tank gets faster. I don't have the final upgrade, and the final upgrade is what increases your top speed. So right now I'm going about 35. I think I get to 50 with the top speed. Not 50, 40 with the top speed bonus. And so there you go. That's 8.7. How about this guy? Is he gonna poke? Let's see. There we go. So that's 8.8 thousand. And this is just the beginning replay. So that's kind of setting the standard right now, guys. 8.8 thousand, 6 kills. And this is the crappiest replay I have. The next replays are even higher than this. So let's get to them. We're on Big Ensk. And the reason I'm going to show you this replay is, although the damage number is still very high, it's not 10k. Sorry to spoil it, but I was going to go straight to those replays, but I want to show this replay because it proves that this tank is not just a hull down tank. Although there's a hull down on this map, I use it for a little bit and then I get right in, like literally brawling. And despite the kind of weak lower plate, I mean weak to gold, the fact that this the side armor is so thick, on the space side armor so thick that is, means that if you angle perfectly and players don't react properly, they can't pen you. So if you intentionally show your side when they're firing heat and they don't switch to your lower plate, they bounce. If they're firing like high penetration gold, like not heat, basically AP or APCR, you angle your side and then you straighten it out last second so they ricochet. Anyway, here's a badger. He thinks he's a breaker. You're not a breaker. Sorry, buddy. You will be one day, but yeah. Paid actor? Oh, well, armor not penetrated. And that's one of the benefits of the badger is if you watch my 2-hour preview of this, which, I mean, I don't expect you did because it's 2 hours. But the badger's lower plate is the same thickness, but on the edges it's actually a bit thicker. Which means that shot bounced because of that thicker plate. The breaker does not have this ability. However, I think the downsides, or the downside of not having that, plus the cupola, are fully outweighed by the fact that this thing is basically impenetrable anywhere else. And it's fast. Anyway, here's a breaker. I just want to get her going, okay? I show him my side, he bounces. He's firing standard. I'm going in because this mouse is going in. This mouse is going to be a great distraction. I'm going to keep this truck in between me and the badger because it'll make it harder for him to aim at my lower plate. Anyway, here's a contriver. And sorry, but the contriver's lower plate is huge. So I'm just going to eat him up. And I'm side scraping. So you don't have to just be a hull down tank. And it's so funny that Wargaming added, of all the things to be a side scraper, it's a TD with no turret. But here we are. To be clear though, you still show your lower plate. It's just a little bit. So tanks that have shitty gun handling are tanks that have shitty gun handling will miss it. You see that armor not hit because I was in the speed mode and my gun bloomed a lot. But it's okay, we got a fire to make up for it. And yes, that is where the mouse's fuel tanks are. And angle a little bit, angle. That guy shot my lower plate at a steep angle, so it bounced. There we go, kill this guy, and okay. Now, he's shooting my track through the spaced. Or not through the space, through the track, avoiding the spaced, and he's gonna pen a lot of these shots. However, Mr. Badger, I have more DPM than you. So I'm not sure if this is really a trade you want. Because you're dead now. Sure, you put a few shots into me. I don't mind. Because I'm a breaker and I have a lot of armor. And I know these guys aren't really going to be able to pen me. So, here's a can opener. And, oh, he doesn't want the smoke. Alright. But he turns his turret. Is his turret still turned? Let's see here. There's his driver's hatch. And, yes, let's face hug. He's going to aim at my cupola. But he gets shoved. Funnily enough, it looked like he was about to double my cupola, but because he got shoved, only one of them hit. And, okay, bounce the shot. There we go. Nice. So, yeah. That was a pretty good brawl, I'm not gonna lie. I don't know if we would have won this so easily had I not done that. I mean, I basically did the HP of 2 mice. So, I took out 2 to 3 tanks here and survived. Let's see. To be fair, all my allies have a lot of health, so they probably could have won it, but just a lot slower. Anyway, again, this is the part where you would be like, oh crap, like a T95, for example, that thing's really strong, kind of like this. Your game is essentially over because how are you going to get to the field and do damage? But, fortunately, this thing's turbo, means that you can get into position very quickly. And as you can see, the turbo doesn't instantly shut off the moment you stop. It actually stays on for about a second, maybe a second and a half, which means you can like stop momentarily and aim for a little bit. Even though you're bloomed out a lot, you can still like, right here, I stopped, and now it deactivated. So am I gonna go in? I'm kind of a one-shot, and I don't really want to die just yet. There's still 5,000 HP worth of enemies. So the bat chat left, which means I can confidently drive over this way and not get shot in the side. And hopefully by the time I get through this second wall over there, I'll have my turbo activated, and there we go. There's a lot of ridge lines here. I'm going to try and use them to stay safe. And, okay, this Patton is donating his tank to God knows who. Fortunately, I got a shot into him, though, but I don't get why players do this, honestly. It's like, right now, it's kind of a close game. Like, not really, but it's kind of a close game in that if the enemy team was very skilled, they could definitely pull it back and win. And your idea of doing that is to YOLO the first person you see and have all of his allies shoot you? Not very smart. Anyway, we're at 8.4k. I'm going to load HE because it's a bat chat and I have 130 pen. And I think, yeah, he's not a one-shot, so I do have more damage to gain. So, where is the bat chat? Probably in this corner, right? Maybe he's out here in the middle, although I think the Bork would probably spot him. And, I just heard someone's tracks fall off. Not sure. Did that Borkin drive off and his tracks break? And then he had auto, what do they call it? Auto repair kit mod? I don't know. But where the hell is his bat chat? He's got to be right in this corner, right? Fucking low noise exhaust. He just killed the can opener. Oh, okay. Oh, whoa. Okay, then. He's over there. And, sorry. I don't actually get a shot into him. But, yeah. I kind of lied in the last replay. I said it only gets better from here. This damage total is slightly worse, but I thought I would show you because it kind of shows that I don't need to be hull down. Or the breaker doesn't need to be hull down to work. You can side scrape, brawl, do whatever. Especially if they're firing heat. You over-angle your side. Anyway, okay, I promise now we'll get to the really good replays, okay? Alright, Empire's Border. If you know a thing or two about Empire's Border, you know that from this side, you should go up to this middle area, because this is the better side for it. And if you're the other side, you spawn on the other team, you should go to the south side, down here, because they have the better side for it. I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna go to the worst side, hoping that all of their mice and heavies are there. And then you could say, well, aren't you gonna get overwhelmed and killed? Not to worry. This is a breaker, so I'll be just fine. And as you can see, again, top left corner, where my little tank icon is, I'm still not fully upgraded. You can see right now I'm going 34, 35. This tank gets faster. It's crazy. It goes to 40. Despite this, I still have a amazing game because the damage is very high. I complete my mission, and I also survive very harsh odds. What is my mission? Be top top player on your team by damage. So when I see missions like this, I'm like, oh, okay. Basically one game in the breaker. But also destroy an enemy heavy tank, which I guess if you're top on damage, you probably killed a heavy tank. So, perfect. Here we are. Look, they've already moved into their positions. They got one up high and one up, or one down low. There's the KR1. And I got some of my allies. So, just get out of the way. Let me get to my hull down. It's time to farm up. Alright. My turbo is made that gun bloom a lot. And that guy shot me, I think in the lower plate as he was reversing. I played that tank. Okay. That tank's gun handling's not very good. But it's okay. It's fine. Anyway, this is where this tank's amazing accuracy comes in. Just nailing this guy's lower plate every single time. Yep. Yeah. Paid actor? Perhaps. What can I say? And of course, the kill shot. Come on, alright. Here's the nice thing about tanks with very high rates of fire. You miss, you try again. Alright, turns out the mice are not coming up this way, which fucking really annoyed me because I was hoping they would. That's like 10k damage to farm. But at least there's one mouse right here. Alright, let's start shooting. And, excuse me, Badger. I want to farm your mouse. Get out of my way. Look at this guy. And, oh, look. Look at these two. How am I supposed to get my 13,000 damage game if I can't farm these freaking mices over here? Get out of the way. And I really don't want to show this guy my lower plate. Because the gun, the distance between the gun and the lower plate is like 3 inches. Not really, but you know, it's very short. So if I can see his lower plate, he can definitely see mine. Anyway, look at that. Mice. Yum. There we go. Got a nice few shots into them. And now this breaker, or this badger, getting some funny ideas. All right, you bounce. Let me... Mouse or badger? I don't quite have the gun depression to shoot his lower plate. The E4 shot me, but looks like he only hit my tracks. And, I'm not sure what this guy's doing. I'm gonna move forward because I want to kill this guy, okay? Like, I want him out of here. But I realized I could just back up and do the same thing. There you go. He missed my lower plate there. And what are you doing, Mr. I7? I'm gonna focus the badger because he's got DPM and accuracy, right? He's a one-shot now, so I don't think he's gonna poke. Let's, go for this I7 now. And, oh, what are you doing, mister? Really? Fuck me, man. I sure hope it was worth it. You just ended your game for one extra shot. I guess, to be fair, and look, I didn't even kill this heavy. Are you kidding me? To be fair, he was getting, probably, realized he was getting a shot in the ass. But, yeah. Anyway, look at this KR1. Alright, big guy. Yep. Interesting. Alright, can I kill this guy so I can get my mission? There we go. Splendid. 8,000 damage, right? But look at the team score. It's still 11,000 to almost 10,000. Meaning they still have 10,000 HP. Now, granted, a lot of that is outside of my render distance. But look at this thing. Look how accurate this tank is. Okay? That's one shot into the E4's cupola. Okay? That's second shot into the E4's cupola. Alright? Load up, and... Alright, that one missed. Fine. I mean, this is World of Tanks after all. What about the fourth shot? Okay, 3 out of 4 on a weak spot at 300 meters. And... Alright, he's dead. That's really nice about this tank. I can't emphasize it enough, how accurate it is. I love it. So... It's not 10k again. Not even 10k. Well, as you can see, the remainder of the enemy team are on the complete opposite side of the map. But this is not a problem for the breaker, because as soon as the turbo kicks in, you can see we're gonna go up this hill in very good amount of speed. Obviously, it's not like a medium or anything, but... So I write 9.5k in chat, hopefully so that the guys that are approaching the enemy cap circle, they don't actually cap. Like, can you not end the game early? I'd kind of like to get 10,000 damage. And credit where credit is due. They don't cap the base. The BZ sits in the cap to draw them out, but he doesn't cap. I don't remember 100%. I think he might have driven out. Or maybe he got reset actually by that stir. I don't know. But in the time of me explaining that to you, I've already climbed this fucking hill. Just like that. Already got from there to the top. So, yeah. What can this tank not do? Well, it doesn't have a turret after all. That's its biggest weakness. Aside from that, it can do basically everything else. And, oh, would you look at that? And look at this little cheeky HE round. I want to get as much damage as I can. Boom, 616. And, okay, here's an EBR. Will I be reloaded in time? No, not quite. Alright. But yeah, so we're at 10k now. However, am I going to stop there? Still 2,000 HP on the enemy team. Okay, there we go. Killed the EBR. That could have very easily missed, and that would have been really annoying, but thankfully RNG finally blessed me. So I'm going to sit right here. If that stirve gets lit, I'm going to have free shots into him. So, now we wait. Huh, there he is. He wasn't on 2,000 health, unfortunately, but oh well. 10.6. Do I reload and kill him? Yeah, there we go. this E5. Will this E5 survive long enough for me to get my top gun? Well, he just killed one of these guys. Oh, well, I guess not. Alright. Yeah, so that's the first 10,000 damage game. Let's go on to the next one. And the next one is even better, because this was not really a close game. It was a pretty, like, heavy fight at J1, but I was never really worried that I was gonna lose it. You know what I mean? I wasn't like, oh shit. The next replay, though, alright, let's get to it. Alright, we're on Paris, and if you've been watching any of Daki's videos on the tier 11s, I think you know exactly where I'm going. Yeah, I'm going to that spot. If you don't know, you need to think a little harder. I don't know how else to say it. Yeah, there's a little spot where if you have gun depression and turret armor, or I guess any armor, like, I don't know, superstructure armor, that's the spot you go to. And preferably have no weak spots as well. Looking at the enemy team, what has a lot of pen? 2685. I believe that has 395 heat. He cannot pen me. The E3, 375 APCR. He also cannot pen me. And the Breaker, he might pen my side. And the same with the E3, he'll pen my side. But from the front, none of those tanks are penning me. In reality, nothing's penning me. So, here we are. There's the rubble pile that I was alluding to. And, oh, let me just show my side. There. That guy penned my side with AP. If he was firing heat, it would have bounced. I was kind of hoping these guys would be spamming gold. Anyway, I tracked that guy. Probably not the best move, but whatever. I'm going to go for the E3's lower plate, because although he can't pen me, he could overmatch my track if he got the shot on it. And, yeah, I don't want to risk that, so I'll go for the E3. Anyway, here's this guy, and, oh, okay, he kind of blocked him, but, yeah. They can't do anything to me. I think they might be able to see my track, but it's pretty evident that that E3 doesn't know about that. And so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna shoot this guy. I'm gonna be a dickhead. Why not? Break his gun. I don't think it did. It just said armor not hit, but... They don't want to poke me anymore. Yeah, that's kind of how it is with this tank. If you're just too strong, people give up. That's actually how you outplay this thing. Just give up. Not in like, oh, it's, just don't sit in front of it. You're gonna have to find a different angle to take this thing out. Anyway, that guy's a one-shot, so I don't suspect he'll be poking again. Alright. So, now I'm thinking, should I poke this mouse? I mean, it's a fucking mouse, man. It's like the freest, juiciest gift ever. I'm gonna poke this side. Why did I poke this side? I'm not sure. I go for the track because I saw that E3, so I thought I might as well just shoot my fucking gun, right? And come on, give me just an angle. No, okay. I saw a green. I was hoping for the best. Whatever. All right, Mr. T803, you think you're tough? Maybe you are, but you're not a breaker. I'm a breaker. So he's trying to actually shoot up into my track, but he doesn't have the caliber high enough to actually overmatch it. So I'm perfectly fine. I don't know if I realized it at the time, but yeah. Have a look at this mouse on the bridge right there. Well then, that was a lot of HP we just lost. We could have used that. Interesting move, mouse. Yes, that's exactly what I said in chat. Interesting move, mouse. I get that you wanted the funny, but you missed. Dumbass. What's funny is that if he landed on him, it probably would have cushioned the fall and he would have survived. But, oh well. But yeah, if you look on the top left of your screen where my icon is, I have actually fully upgraded it in this battle. You can see I'm on level 4, which means I do have the top speed bonus. And, oh, okay, that T803 actually caught a glimpse of my cupola. That's pretty annoying. Anyway, yeah, mouse, I have a way faster reload than you. So I don't know what you're trying to do here. And look at that, as soon as it's flat ground, people are going to start hitting your cupola. To be honest though, I thought this rubble pile was covering it. But I guess it wasn't. It doesn't matter. I mean, this mouse had health. He no longer has health. I'm gonna try and see if I can get... can I get us... have kind of an angle and... There we go, perfect. That T803 is still trying to pen my, my under flap thing. Yeah, you're gonna need a bigger caliber gun for that. So, Mouse is dead. I'm on half HP now, which is not the greatest, but 5k blocked and 5k damage. Can we bump it up more than that? Well, we're down fucking 4k, so I better get to it. And yes, T-803, I'm the real hull down tank. You're not the hull down tank. And, oh, just missed his cupola. Okay. That BZ's kind of annoying because I would like to, like, side scrape this E5, but this BZ could put a shot into my side. And if he's firing heat, he won't pen, but if he's smart and intuitions to AP, he will go right through it. And then I'll be on very low health. So, okay, this E5, he cannot pen my under armor where my tracks are. So, I don't have to worry about that. Put a shot into his cupola. See if I can get one more. Come on. Alright. He's hiding now. So, we kind of need to push this flank because our whole team is down here and we're being held up by a guy on 700 and a guy on 1800, basically. The BC is kind of holding it, but he's kind of far as well. If I could just kill this E5, it would be perfect. And, oh, alright, this tank's very accurate, right? Yes, indeed it is. With him being dead, I can now turn around and actually focus on the people behind us. Just in time, right? Alright. And, oh boy, okay, they've got a breaker on full HP. For some reason, he went to the other side of the map. I don't know, man. But, yeah, Mr. Breaker. Okay, you gonna angle your tank? No? You're gonna just sit there? Yeah, I'm not missing your lore plate, my friend. He's gonna try and escape. I think I get one more. Yep, there we are. And, God, I just love how accurate this thing is. And, oh my goodness. I was paying attention. I was gonna aim at him, and then the contriver just fucking full HP ammo racks him. Or nearly full HP. Anyway, look at this. Red alert, red alert. I pinged this guy to come with. This T-803 is gonna kill our Yag. And if we don't help him now, it's going to be a T-803 on a lot of health and a BZ on a lot of health. We have to go in and get this guy. However, I'm on 1,000. I'm not so confident I want to go now. I was too slow. It's kind of one of the downsides of this ability is it's not instant, right? You have to drive for a little bit before it activates. Anyway, okay, cannon opener, we're going to both kill this guy. If we both just rush him, we'll take 2 shots at most. Okay, now we'll take 1 shot because he's a 2-shot, okay? Just go in. I know you don't want to eat the shot, but we can't fucking wait around. We have to go. I tell him in chat, go, man. I can't go. The mouse is in the way, and you're in the way. So just fucking go. Okay, he shot. And now you're... Now you're gonna make me take a shot because of that fucking shit. I can't stand shitty players, man. Instead of you taking 1 shot and we kill him, now both have to take a shot. And, okay, we have to kill this BZ right now. We have to, because this Progetto, see right here? I believe he died. Yes, okay, he dies. We have to go now. We have to kill this BZ or we're going to be circled. We're going to be in a huge crossfire and he's going to shoot our ass. So go. You have to go. Don't fucking look at me. Go. Go before it's too late. Oh my god, we're so fucking lucky that this BZ fluffed the shot. Because this retard actually was going to throw the game by not pushing. We have to push. And look, now that I'm face hugging, he can pen my roof, but if he's firing heat, I don't think so, because it's not an overmatch with heat. And look, the Panzerwagon has made it. Just in time, kind of. There we go, see? Perfect. As soon as he gets here, we kill him. Look at that. Yeah. That's why I said you have to go. You have to. Because... I was being kind of mean. I wasn't being mean in chat, but I was being mean in the video. He is a bit indecisive. He doesn't want to eat a shot, especially since it's a close game. But you have to. You have to eat the shot. You're not a one-shot unless he high rolls. And if you don't go in, the Panzerwagon's going to farm us both in the rear. And then it's, for sure, it's going to be over. Anyway, again, I type in chat, 9.8k. I hope I can get 10k. You know, this guy, he could choose to steal the arty kill. Or he could let me get it. It's, you know, there's no, I don't expect him to let me get the kill. But there's no harm in asking, right, guys? And, although I was being a bit mean to him, he did let me get it. He said, good job. Okay, thank you. And, yeah, I was kind of annoyed, but forgive me. But anyway, I know a lot of you might be in the same situation. And you need to, honestly, you need to look at the map and say, this Panzer wagon is going to come shoot us in the ass. We have to kill this guy. Anyway, look at that. Armor not hit, of course. Fuck ass. Anyway, look, my turbo activates instantly because I didn't stop for very long. That's very nice. And there we go, another 10k in a very close game. Again, 5 kills, no Top Gun, but that's fine. So, I have one more funny moment type of replay. Alright, this replay isn't like a super... It's not a 10k damage game, but I named the replay file Retard Push Fjords. Because that's exactly what I did. So, this is an older replay. You can see I'm not fully upgraded, so I don't quite have the top speed. But as you can see, I'm catching up to these guys. Mouse, Kron, BZ. And now I'm shoving them. Get out of the way, guys. Breaker incoming. But, yeah. So, we're going to go to this corner. We're not exactly on the right side for it. It'd be nicer if I spawned on the other side. It's a much better hull down. But, like, look at all this. There's the M5Y, the 50B, the KR1, the Mouse over there. I saw this and I thought, well, if they're all over there, then they're not over here, right? And so, maybe I should just shove. And, hey, look, if I shove and there's some people over there, my side armor will hold up, right? So I ping this guy, alright, let's go. There's the BZ, and at this point I was like, well, whatever, I'm just gonna go in. Here's a bunch of people, and here we go. Chems, you just fucking YOLO'd threw your tank away. No, I didn't. I'm a breaker. KR1 comes in. As you can see, there's a weird bug in that if your gun, the tip of your gun is underwater, you can't shoot. So I wasn't just staring at this BZ for fun. I literally could not fire my gun. Anyway, he's dead. Next. Alright, 430U. This KR1 is on kind of low health. Let's see, I can't really help him because he's in front of me. And, oh. Well, I got into my hull down on their side now. So, can one breaker and a mouse... I'm like, I wouldn't... You know what? I'm not even going to say it. I was going to say, can one breaker hold their whole team? No, I've got support here. But anyway, look. Here we are. That fucking retard shove, and I survived it. And I even have 1,000 HP. Oh, look at this 430U. He's trying to get around. And, I tried to fire, and I couldn't. It's fucking stupid. Come on, Wargaming. Is this another... You fixed the gun bug, and now we have another gun bug, but with water? That's pretty obnoxious. Anyway, these guys have fallen back because they just can't handle this, right? And, okay, here's a 260 Cupola. That one didn't quite hit it flush. And now the mouse is drowning. Right there. I don't know if that was on purpose, if he was, like, trying to avoid us. It looks like he was trying to drive out, right? Drive out that way. So, you know, unlucky for him, I guess. Here's Big Daddy 07 in his Object 260. Getting completely mogged by me. So, yeah. Look, it looks like that retarded push I made actually paid off. And that's the ass of a minnow. So let's just load some HE. 652. Very, very nice. As you can see, my turbo's still on, so my reticle is so fucking huge. Anyway. Oh, there you go. There's another HE round. 6.4k. I know I said this isn't going to be a huge damage game. And 6.4k for the average player, I guess, is like a big damage game. Huge, maybe. For me, it's like a good game, I guess. Or a great game. To be honest, in a breaker, like 6k isn't even that impressive. It's just kind of how it is. Anyway, I decided to go this way because I'm thinking, well, they're losing horrifically. So I'm willing to bet that the Hirschkaffer and the AMX probably went back to base. No, they're just going in to get themselves killed. So the Hirsch is still there. And so hopefully I can get some HE rounds into his ass. As you can see, though, this BZ, he's rocketing, right? He used all his rockets just to still be behind me. So that's funny. And oh boy. And like I don't even know how that fucking bounces, man. Like Yeah, the turbo speed mode bloom, it's kind of obnoxious. But anyway, look. There's a leopard there. And the FV splashed me, so I'm a one-shot now. That FV's full health. I really don't want to die. I want to farm him. Luckily, this guy gets spotted. So, come on. Let's use our DP. I'm going to kill this guy quick. And I'm just going to start going down. Look at that. 2,000 HP all for me. However, he could just splash me and kill me. So I'm saying, hey, BZ, I'll help you. Just take the shot. My guy, you're almost full. And there you go. He actually did take the shot. So good job. That shot, you see, it was green for a second, but then it bounced. It's whatever. It doesn't matter. I'm a breaker. I'll just reload. All right, next one. Keep it up, guys. Keep it up. Reload, reload. Do that. And he's dead. And that's 8,000 damage. Again, I said this wasn't a huge damage game. Kind of is. At this point, for a breaker, a huge damage game is 10k. Anything below that is just meh. It's whatever. So, yeah, if you've got a lot of missions you need to do, whether that be for 260, 279, or whatever, this tank can do a lot of them. Because it's got DPM, it's got accuracy, it's got camo if you need to do sniping missions. It's got armor. Yeah, I mean, basically, I did all the Vinhund missions and almost all of the Dravik missions just playing this thing. This and the, what's it called? The Rat. I think my next video will be on the Rat because I quite like that one. Great surprise, guys. I love the mouse. I like the Rat a lot. So, yeah. I don't think I actually end up catching this guy, but as you can see, like, for something that in theory goes 20, has a power to weight of 10, and is like T95 armor, look at the path I made this whole map, or this whole game. I started here, I zoomed all the way around, came back, and now I'm going uphill, and I actually very nearly make it to this M48. I'm going almost 20 uphill. So yeah, the breaker. Highly recommend getting this. If you have the Badger or going down or are going down that line and you are wondering, should I get this? Is it worth it? Absolutely. This is just a direct upgrade from the Badger. Even though it has some downsides, the downsides are nothing compared to the upsides. So, yeah. I hope you enjoyed this video. And thank you for watching.